Hey, congratulations on finding your way to this free bonus quick hands, quick feet video and training manual. These are really quick training modules that just take a laser focus on a couple elements of your game. Your hand-eye coordination and your foot speed and, let's say, coordination in the small areas around the net. They're not intended to be baggers. They're just intended to, like I said, take that laser focus approach on working on a few elements of your game. This is Maria from goalietrainingpro.com, where my mission is to help 10,000 players win more games with fewer injuries, even if you don't have the genetic gifts or the natural ability of your competitors. Let's go see what this quick hands, quick feet is all about. This is just a nice knee recovery drill. So getting your feet back underneath you. Again, I do appreciate on the ice you're probably going to come around a little bit more with an angle where you're going to push, but we're going to just come up underneath to work on getting that hip flexion, keeping your shoulders fairly level as you come up, up, down, down. I want my head to stay almost in the exact same spot. And don't forget that you need to do an equal number. However many you do on your right side, you need to do the same number leading with your left leg. So don't just always lead with your strong side, and you might just naturally choose to do that and not even realize why. If you want to, you can come around a little bit more, but my preference is probably to get the speed in your hips and just work it that way, thinking about keeping your head and shoulders stable and level. Do a lateral hop and stick. We get the acceleration, but also the deceleration. So you're gonna hold that position for the required amount of time. Usually it's 3 to 5 seconds. Get a nice drive. Notice how I'm staying low. So when it's time for me to go, I can just drive. I don't have to sort of drop down and go. Again, relates to that idea when you're making moves, but maybe you're looking in the different direction. Your head has to be moving. When your head moves, your body's getting input about the position, the rotation, the speed of rotation, and it can compete a little bit for some of the input telling you about how you're oriented in space. So again, it's all about your body getting better at receiving the information, but interpreting the information and making a very quick, accurate response. So we're going to come back to single leg balance. But this time we're going to bring our arms out in front of us. And then we're going to stare right at our thumb. So don't look past your thumb. Stare right at your thumb. Come out to the side, moving your head with your hand. Again, really important to be focusing on the thumb, not sort of having a blank gaze past it. And you would do each direction. And then as you get better, you could make it quicker, stop, quicken, stop. You could read and react, so someone could stand in front of you and they could point right or left. So if they point this way, then you would pause, or you could be following it, and then at some point they could yell stop, and you have to stop and maintain your balance. Absolutely love this exercise specifically for goalies. So we're going to start in a nice low squat position. I want my head to stay fairly stationary, and then we're going to hop out so that our toes point out and our knees stay over our ankles. So we're not going to be here. We're going to get wide and then right back in. When you work on the quick low push lateral, I want you to think not only of pushing quickly here, but pulling quickly here. So the two are going to work together. So, because sometimes you get, it's just this leg is doing all the work. But I want you to think about pulling this leg to bring your feet in to a loaded position again, and also just to close up that gap in your pad. So this is going to be a quick low shuffle. So push, pull is how that's going to work. And then your shoulders are going to stay level. Think about where you would have your glove, where you would have your stick, where you would be looking, staying square in your chest. Quick push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. Back. As a goalie, you should have impeccable stability at your hip, the way a pitcher should have impeccable stability at their shoulder joint. So this is an exercise we use to work on this. You're going to stay tall in your torso, level in your shoulders, and you're lifting up that top foot so that you're just balancing on your one knee and trying to stay square. Notice how I'm keeping my hands in, partly because I can feel if I'm breaking through my torso, but also I don't want to be using my hands to swim around and balance me. I want my body to learn that those muscles that surround the hip joint have to be the ones to control and stabilize. I'm going to do a little knee recovery to a lateral push. So if I'm here, again, thinking about keeping my head up, I don't want to be staring at the ground or at my feet. Keeping my shoulders nice and tall. I'm going to bring my foot up underneath me. I'm going to push laterally, but I don't want to go up in the air. I want to just go straight across. And then I'm going to come back down, dropping that inside knee. I like you to bring this foot back around just so you can get the practice of coming around and then transitioning into that push. So if I'm here, so thinking about getting a nice angle on your foot, you can't be here, you're not going to get very much force production, so getting an angle there. When you come up, don't let this foot be way out here, leaving lots of space. Again, it's not going to be exactly the same as when you're on the ice, but some of these little things, we can think about pushing. Where should your stick be? Where should your glove be? Those are little things you can work into it. This is going from belly to back, so we won't use our hands per se to come up. So we'll keep our arms crossed. You can see my arms help a little bit there, but I'm not using my hands. Then I'm coming down, all the way down onto my back, and then back up again without using my hands, so I have to get a little bit wide, and then back to my belly, back down. So just learning different patterns of body dexterity. Do a single leg jump to a lateral push. We're going to try to make this transition quite smooth. So we're going to do single leg jump, lateral hop. Single leg jump, lateral hop. And then you could try to stick this landing out here. So if I go single leg hop, lateral, single leg jump, lateral, balance it. I'm kind of excited because I actually get to show you something I can do, hopefully, which is single hand juggling. So I want you to think about single hand juggling, practicing single hand juggling. At the start, it might just be a gonger, and you might even want to just start, with one ball, sort of throwing it up and down so that it kind of comes back to roughly the same spot. This is the trouble with, where you get in trouble with juggling is if, the balls start going every which way, then you get in some trouble. You can start with just a single hand juggle off the wall and just start, nice and easy, underhand pass, catch, and then you can start to throw, add some overhands, come around, underhand. Make sure you're following the ball into your hand each time, trying to catch the ball out in front of you a little bit, not sort of catch it in behind you. Just keep it simple, keep it easy, nice and relaxed as you go. So catching cards, you can use playing cards, just a deck of cards. These are just business cards because I don't have a deck of cards here in the gym. But you can have somebody toss them to you. If nobody's around, you can toss them to yourself. You're going to feel very foolish because these will, they'll flutter and flit away from you, and it's going to be hard to catch. So get nice and low in your legs, nice and reactive. Keep your eye on it, and don't give up on it. So you can see that I batted it around a little bit, but finally came up with it. So pop it up, miss. Then we'll use I'm using lacrosse balls. I think they bounce a little bit quicker, but you could use a tennis ball. A racquet ball actually is really hard. It comes off very quickly. So then we'll go, so same, 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 and just try to get into a juggling pattern with that. When you do the ball off the wall from behind, you're going to need a partner. I don't have a partner today, so we'll go to the land of make-believe. But your partner's going to stand behind you, and they're going to toss the ball off the wall from behind you. So the first thing you're going to see is the ball coming and hitting the wall and then rebounding to you. And they can throw it any which way. So, you know, and you can make it easier or harder based on where they stand and where you stand. If they're standing quite a ways back and really whipping it, it's going to come off with a lot of speed. If you're standing this close to the wall, I'm about 5 feet out from the wall, you're going to have to move very quickly, and you may have to move your feet to get there as well. But basically the idea is, and you'll maybe start with a tennis ball or something a little easier to catch, but you're going to wait and keep a broad spectrum of vision, and then that ball is going to come and you're going to get on it. To start with, just get to it and grab it with 2 hands. But then as you get more comfortable with it, you can, you know, then just grab it with your 1 hand. If it's on the right side of your body, you're going to grab it with the right. If it's to the left, you're going to catch it with the left hand. Once you've gotten comfortable with your alternate juggling off the wall, you're going to add in a hip shift so that you're moving side to side as you're juggling. Staying nice and low, not popping up as your focus, you know, as you have more and more things going on. Your single hand juggling will get better and better as you practice. So then you're going to go alternate half kneeling as you do your single hand juggling. So I got a couple in. You can see I had to hesitate a little bit, get my balance back, get my rhythm back. But ideally, you'd like to practice to the point where you can just keep that juggling, alternating knee down, and nice steady tempo. So catching cards, you can use playing cards, just a deck of cards. These are just business cards because I don't have a deck of cards here in the gym. But you can have somebody toss them to you. If nobody's around, you can toss them to yourself. You're going to feel very foolish because these will, you know, they'll flutter and flit away from you, and it's going to be hard to catch. So get nice and low in your legs, nice and reactive. Keep your eye on it, and don't give up on it. So you can see that I batted it around a little bit, but finally came up with it. So pop it up, miss.